Hello, fellow nurse entrepreneurs. One of the things that I've always wanted to do was I always wanted to help nurses work from anywhere, pretty much have the flexibility, pretty much have their freedom so that they could do whatever they wanted to do.
Joining VP Nursing was one of the best decisions that I could have ever made. If I was to have a regret, it would be that I didn't join sooner.
If they wanted to be with their children, if they wanted to be with their families, they can do exactly what they wanted to do.
Ola is the type of person, she's not going to let you stay the same. The way she levels up her clients in every area of their lives.
I could not have imagined being a nurse with my own business, being in this space with so many amazing people, with a coach that 1,000,000% cares about what my outcome is going to be.
And so here at VP Nursing, we teach nurses how to work from their computers anywhere around the world, making money, owning their own time, building profitable nurse coaching, consulting, and service-based businesses. And so now we're at the beach and we're working at the beach and we're having a great time. We're doing a brand photo shoot. It's an amazing time. So if you want to learn how to work from anywhere around the world, creating that flexibility, creating that freedom for yourself, but monetizing the knowledge that you already have, join us at VP Nursing Business Academy. Good morning, everyone. So this is Dr. V, and yes, if you want to learn how to work from anywhere around the world, making money, owning your own time, building profitable nurse coaching, and really any coaching and consulting business, you can see me. Anyway, so this is what we're going to talk about today is the things not to do if you want to build a six-figure business over the next year. This is very, very important. I work with mostly nurses, but sometimes I do work with people who are not nurses. But these are the 10 things. If you want to know the 10 things, I want you to drop a yes in the chat. The 10 things that, absolutely that you need. And then I got one bonus for you too. Okay. So the first one is don't confuse working harder for working smarter. All right. So many times what happens is we have this concept that if we work harder, then we're going to get more money. And the reality is that is not the case at all. I just want you to think about the fact that if you look at the CEO and you look at the janitor, which one do you think works harder? The janitor, right? Even if you look at the nurses that work in the hospital, and the CEO gets more money. And so we have to understand that the CEO and is the one who's really, really thinking. So he's strategically thinking how to make the company money. And because of his strategic thoughts, then that is the reason why he makes more money. So just really think about it. When you are working, you're the worker bee, then you don't make as much money as a person who is thinking. John D. Rockefeller, he said that he took education out of the school system. And the reason why he did is because he didn't want a nation of thinkers. He wanted a nation of workers. So think about the fact that he even did that. And so understand that working harder does not get you more money. All right. So don't think that is what the case is and that you always have to work harder in order to do that. You just have to think strategically and to think how to make more money within your business and how to help more people. Number two is that don't keep collecting degrees thinking that they'll make you rich. Now, I am the degree collector, obviously. So this is I have a doctorate in nursing practice. This is an earned degree. This is not, I wasn't given this. I shall say that I didn't pay for it, but I did pay for it, but I earned it, right? So I have a doctorate in nursing practice. And I used to always think that once I got the doctoral degree that, I would automatically get a job within the healthcare system. And the reality was that was not the case at all. It was not, and I didn't make more money. And I knew that I didn't make more money than most people that even had a lesser degree, whether it was a master's or whatever. So it does not matter whether you have a doctoral degree, and people don't really care, how many degrees you have. What they care is whether you can solve their problems. So if you get into a solution-oriented space, then it doesn't really matter what you're doing. As long as you can solve their problem, then it is game over and you can work it out. Now, I want you to, while I'm saying all this, I want you to go ahead and follow us on Instagram at the Millionaire Nurse CEO, and also follow us on all social media. It is either my name, Viola Coppage Pierce, or the Millionaire Nurse CEO. Okay, let's get into number three. Number three is don't stay comfortable. That is highly, highly important, because what happens is we stay in our comfort zone. And so I've seen nurses who have really, really struggled and not done what they needed to do simply because they were comfortable. So you say to yourself, well, I can just work another shift, or I can just go get another job, or I can, and that should never, ever be the case. You want to think strategically, and it's going to push you and it's going to stretch you. I can't tell you the number of times that I've been pushed, the number of times that I've been stretched. I'm not comfortable at all. And one of the things that, TD Jakes talks about, and you just think about it, right? So whenever you're growing in any space, I don't care what it is, whether it's growing in your weight, right? Your clothes don't feel comfortable, right? And so when your clothes don't feel comfortable, then that means you're outside of your comfort zone. Now, obviously, you don't want to grow in your weight. However, you do want to grow in how you think, what you think. And it's important that you stay out of that steady paycheck, because people think that their paycheck is steady. And in this chartist, I want to say review, they talked about 400 hospitals closing down. And with the changes in healthcare, that is a real possibility, right? And I have seen, because I've seen places where they have literally fired their entire staff, right? So it's not, you have to know what to do, right? When we talk about AI a lot, you want to make sure that you understand that you won't be replaced by AI, but you'll be replaced by the person who knows how to use AI, right? Because it creates a very unique and very specific and more efficient workflow. And so you want to really, really lean into that if you have not already leaned into that. It's very important for you to understand how to work more efficiently, because the hospitals are at this point now where they're needing to work more efficiently, because nurses are not necessarily staying at the bedside. And a lot of people, not a lot of people, there was a few people out here that says, well, you're enticing people from the bedside. No, what I'm enticing people to do is to coach and consult so that we can make the processes that the hospitals use more efficiently and more effectively. Okay. And I don't really care what people say. So you can say what you want to say. It really doesn't matter. And that will change your life too, because you want to ensure that you're not thinking about what everybody else is thinking. It's really none of your business what everybody else thinks about you. And once you get 40, it's like the turning of the game. Like once you get 40, that don't even matter what people think. Now, this is number 4. Number 4 is don't try to serve everyone. That is so key, right? Because what happens a lot of times is people are like, well, I'm going to do this business and I'm going to do this business. I'm going to do this business. And so they have $300,000 businesses or $350,000 businesses when they can have one 6-figure businesses. They can have one business that gets them to the millionaire status, right? And even once once your business gets to $1 million, it's not necessarily that you're going to have $1 million, because you're going to have systems and processes and people working in place with you in order to help you. So you want to make sure that you're not trying to serve everyone. People are like, well, I may leave this person out, and it doesn't matter. What brings you the most joy, what brings you the most money, that's the thing that you want to do at the very beginning. Because if you're serving everyone, you're serving no one. You have to have one specific customer avatar that you are speaking to every time you speak. My specific customer avatar is nurses. Now, have I served other people other than nurses? Absolutely. However, my one specific customer avatar is nurses. Okay, number 5. Number 5 is don't wait till you're ready. Okay? You have to leap even when you don't feel ready. And that's one of the things that is probably one of my superpowers. And I guess it's one of my superpowers. And listen, all you ER nurses out there, because when you are an ER nurse, one of the things that you have to do is you have to work proactively, right? You have to work proactively in order to ensure that your patient is taken care of. And so one of the things that I always say is that don't wait until you're ready, because if you wait until you're ready for the perfect time, then you retire, you go year after year after year after year doing the same thing and never getting a different result. You're getting the same result over and over and over again. You're overworked, you're tired, you burn out, and then you wonder why. It's because you didn't move in when you needed to. So that's that. So I I got a little commercial for you, and then we'll be right back.
Stop renewing your license just to stay broke. Every renewal season, nurses pay fees, take classes, and check boxes, but never build wealth. That license you're renewing every 2 years, it's a gold mine if you stop using it the old way. At the Millionaire Nurse CEO Conference, you'll learn how to leverage that same license to build your own business, to coach, to consult, and to create offers that bring freedom, not fatigue. And yes, you'll still earn CEUs. Comment conference below and we'll send you the details.
Yes, yes, yes. Comment conference below and we'll send you the details to our Millionaire Nurse CEO Conference because it's going to be amazing. Cannot wait. Cannot wait. Okay, so next, number 6, don't undercharge or apologize for your prices. So you can't undercharge. You are priceless. Okay, you are priceless. However, you want to charge for what your services are bringing to your clients. Like you want to make sure that you are bringing value, absolutely, and that you're bringing resolution to their problems. However, you want to charge accordingly. And so we believe in the high ticket model, right? So there's either high ticket, low volume, or high volume, low ticket, right? And so we believe in the high ticket model. And so what that means is that you have a low volume of clients that you charge higher ticket, and that sustains the company, because a lot of people, what they do is they go in and they want to help it, especially nurses. Nurses are amazing. However, you want to go in and you want to help all these people, and it's valiant to want to help all these people, but at the same time, you need to charge. And one of the things that I think that we miss out on is the fact that whenever patients come into the hospital, they get charged. We just don't work in the billing department in order to be able to charge the patient, right? And so because we don't work in the billing department, then we don't have to think about those things. But you have to think about those things whenever you're in business. There's 3 legs to your business. And this is 3 legs to every business. It's marketing, sales, and operations, right? And so you have to market the business for sure, right? And so that's that component of not really caring what people think is the component that comes in whenever you're marketing your business, because people are going to say whatever they want to say. They will come in and they'll tell you what their thoughts are. But unless they have built, because you judge the conversation, you judge the advice that you're getting from someone based off of what they have done, right? So if you have come in and you built a 6-figure business, or you built a $1 million business, then I can take advice from you because you have done the thing that I want to do. However, what happens many times is that you have these people that take advice from people who they hadn't done that, right? You have to judge the advice by the fruit that it provides. And so you don't want to go into any space and not do the thing that they're saying to do when they haven't actually done it. They haven't walked through it, right? And so that's the value of community, because, I had one client that came to us and she was very tearful. She was upset. She ended up, she had went to one of her mentors. Now the mentor was a great mentor. She was a nice lady, apparently, because she had talked to her over the years. But the reality is that this lady hadn't built a 6-figure business. This lady hadn't closed a 6-figure contract. This lady was just a mentor in the space. Like, she was collecting a paycheck like everybody else. And so when she went to her and she told her about her business, then what happened when she started, she shut her down. She was like, man, that's not going to work. And so what happened was she ended up crying and being upset, and was upset about the whole situation. And so you really don't want to really listen to other people when it comes to that. You really want to be very intentional about listening to people who have actually done it. Judge the value of the advice by the fruit that they have bared. Okay, so just know that. Number 7, don't be loyal to a job that isn't loyal to you. Now, we all know that there's really no job that's really loyal to you, but don't be loyal to that job either. You have to be very intentional about, making sure that whenever you go to a job, of course, you want to have integrity, and you want to work, and you want to do the things that they tell you to do, but you don't want to be too loyal to something that's not loyal to you. And so being very intentional about that is key. Don't rely on motivation. This is number 8. Okay. Now, this is really a big one, because a lot of times what people will do is they'll get motivated by a speech. They'll get motivated by people talking. But then after that speech is over, then they lack the discipline to get to where you need to be. And one of the things that this is one of the values of fasting and praying. And so I'm a God girl. So, if you don't want to listen to God, that's your business. And this is my channel. So I'm gonna say what I want to say. So God, right? So God says, fasting and praying, right, is what will help you get to your goals. It brings clarity. And so fasting from the things that you don't need, whether it's social media, whether it's bad food, the TV, whatever thing that you are doing that really does not serve a great purpose in your life, you want to fast from that. So it creates that discipline within you so that you can move forward, because you cannot. One of the things that one of the authors of Atomic Habits says that, a good habit will never survive a bad environment. And so you have to be sure of you have to be intentional about who you hang around with as well, right? So you want to make sure that you're not hanging around with people who, like, I cannot hang around with people who don't have a forward thinking mind. I just can't. It does not matter. I'm just not going to do it, right? So you have to be intentional about who you hang around with. Now, number 9 is don't isolate yourself trying to figure it out all alone. All right. And so, Proverbs talks about a man isolating himself. You don't isolate yourself. Don't isolate yourself trying to figure it out alone. And that's the value, again, of community. You want to make sure that you're in community, and you want to make sure that you have people that are really there to lift you up, especially in times because business is up and down. And so when business is down, then you have to make sure that you are having people that can help you get through those down times, because there have been times, and this is a valuable thing too. You have to ensure that the thing that you're going after is a passion, and it's a thing that you would do whether you get paid for it or not. All right. Now you need to get paid for it. Don't get me wrong. But if you don't have a passion for the thing, then what happens is you start to wean from that thing. You start to not to want to do that thing. And you start to not to want to do it because you don't have a passion, because money will never sustain you. The fact that you want to make money with the business is you got to make money with the business, but at the same time, you have to understand that money will never sustain you throughout those down times. And so you want to make sure that it's the thing that you will go for no matter what. Number 10, don't believe that wanting more money makes you greedy. It doesn't make you greedy. That's important, because a lot of people think, well, especially again in nursing, like, we help people out all the time, right? And we don't think about the money that they're being charged on the back end, but they're getting charged money, right? And so don't think money will make you greedy. You have to change your money mindset and understand that whenever you charge people, then you have to charge people in order for them to show up for themselves. And if you don't believe me, start working with a bunch of people. I remember I coached this young lady, and I said, you're going to have to charge people in order to get them to show up for themselves. And she said, well, God has told me that I don't need to charge this particular group of people. I said, okay. Because what I'm not going to do is go against what God told you. But sometimes experience teaches you better lessons than, what I can teach you ever in any day, right? And so this was the experience that she had. So she went and she had the experience of talking or not charging these young people for whatever services that she was giving to them, mentoring services. And about the second call, nobody showed up, because they didn't have an investment. They didn't have any skin in the game. And so you want to make sure that you have people that are invested in themselves in order for them to show up. Otherwise, you'll be wasting your time, and they won't get the results that they need, because they won't do the work that they need to do, because they're not being charged. They don't have any skin in the game. I'm always going to work because I put enough. I invest enough in myself, because I'm going to bet on me every single solitary time, no matter what, no matter how. And you have to be intentional about charging not what you're worth, because you're worth more than money can buy, but charging your requirement, your required rate. Okay. At the end of the day. And I found this too. And this is another thing I want to express this. Do not decrease the prices of your services. Do not decrease the prices of your services. Hear me clear. Don't decrease the prices of your services because you know that person or because you feel sorry for them. Don't do it, because what happens is they don't show up for themselves. They don't get the results. The whole point of you doing it is for them to get the results. That's not, if they don't get the results, then, there's no point. So you want to make sure that you don't. I never did. I've done that before and it has never, ever worked out for me. And so don't ever, ever do that. Now, this is the bonus one. Okay. Don't think that you can reach six figures without investing in coaching. Okay. The reality is that coaching is very, very important, and it gives you the ability, it helps you to set up, your systems, your operations, your sales, your marketing. These are things that you need to do in order to be able to get to 6 and 7 figures. And so investing in coaching is highly, highly important for you to do. And of course, if you want to invest in coaching here, we have a masterclass that we do every, we do a masterclass. And so, sign up for our masterclass. Go to V as in Victor, P as in Paul, nursing.com. Sign up for our masterclass. Come in, get to know us. Be sure that you are listening to what you need to do and think about the problems that you can solve, because everybody has the ability to be able to solve problems. You just have to use your clinical expertise in order to be able to do that. So it's an amazing, amazing, amazing day. I'm incredibly impressed by the people that I hang out with every day. We have a lot of people. We have 7-figure, 6-figure earners in our community who can really, really help you, as well as our coaching. So, and don't forget, the Millionaire Nurse CEO Conference is coming up, okay? February 20th through the 21st. And so you ladies and gentlemen, have an amazing rest of your day. Bye-bye.